Morning Nigeria today, we shall focus on World Skills International membership.
Right. Let's take you to China, not because of any other thing, but because of this important popular saying. If you want to understand the past, go to Beijing. If you want to see the present, go to Shanghai. But if you want a glimpse of the future, do you know where to go? Shenzhen. All in China.
So, why Shenzhen? Well, it is because that city has become a global lab where technology, skills, and innovation come to life.
Absolutely. And here's the surprise. The people there driving that innovation are not adults, and they're not big corporations either.
True. They are children, we understand, students, young people learning skills early, coding, AI, cloud computing, robotics, and modern manufacturing right from the classroom.
I think, Rita, you could just simply say the Gen Zs.
Well, Gen Z is a Nigerian thing.
No, it's
largely.
No, it's not a Nigerian thing.
I'm not sure China says so.
Globally, these are the Gen Zs. Anyway, let's get back to Nigeria here, where skills acquisition has traditionally, meant something quite different. It's learning a trade, like the apprenticeship school. Some do, before and after school. Of course, becoming a mechanic, a tailor, or just simply a technician, mostly because you want to earn a living.
Important skills, yes. But for a long time, they were separate from formal education.
Absolutely. Now, that thinking is beginning to shift, and we're glad. There's growing conversation about bringing practical skills into the classroom alongside theory. Victor?
It may still feel like a long road, but the signals are getting stronger by the day.
Absolutely. There's a saying, I hope I don't get it mixed up. Theory without practice is blind, and practice without theory is empty.
Absolutely.
So, one of those signals is Nigeria's admission into World Skills International membership. That's a global body that's dedicated to skills excellence and workforce competitiveness.
Now, stakeholders have described it as a major milestone, a statement that Nigeria is serious about building a workforce that can compete and globally.
And this didn't happen overnight, we're told. The journey took about 10 good years. You heard me right, a decade. But just days ago, a committee was inaugurated to drive this new chapter.
The task before that committee is to move beyond classroom-only education, to strengthen skills development and empower young Nigerians for the future of work.
So the big question now is, can this shift turn potential into real industrial and economic transformation?
Well, time will tell. I'm Victor Azo, and this is Good Morning Nigeria. Welcome to the program.
And as they say, the answer is blowing in the winds. I'm Claire Adelabu Abdul Razak, welcoming you to Thursday's edition of Good Morning Nigeria. Today, please do join us as we explore how skills, education, and opportunity can shape Nigeria's future, or probably we should say, can also deepen the future of generations yet unborn. So, am I correct?
Yeah. And then when they join us, they should join us, actively, sending messages, share experiences.
Did they want to join you? they want to do their thing. And, you know, these young minds leading the way, all the way, you know, in China. So it's not out of place for our children to also, they're doing very well, don't get us wrong. They're doing very well, but we want to deepen the skills. And there are activities that already beginning to show that Nigeria is on that right path. So we are reaching you, as usual, live from our studio here in Abuja, the nation's capital.
You're still watching Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. And just before we bring in our guests for this conversation, let's take the background reports put together by Timothy Yusuf.
Nigeria finally achieved a major milestone by securing membership with World Skills International, a global body that promotes skills excellence and workforce competitiveness after a decade-long effort. Investigation shows that the country's admission as the 89th member was announced in August 2024. Consequently, a National Working Committee has been inaugurated recently to strengthen skills development and technical vocational education and training (TVET) in the country. The committee, chaired by the Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaiba Ahmed, aims to promote a coordinated, demand-driven and competency-based TVET system. Experts believe that Nigeria's membership is expected to enhance global competitiveness, drive industrialization and boost economic growth. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, described the membership as a major step towards building a globally competitive workforce and transforming the nation's TVET landscape. The development, according to analysts, is also expected to inspire young Nigerians to develop a strong interest in skills acquisition and provide industries with a more agile and competent workforce. What are the benefits of Nigeria's World Skills membership or the plans for implementing TVET programs in the country? For this and more, over now to our guests in the studio.
Right, that was the background report by our correspondent Timothy Yusuf. But let me start, before I bring in our guests, let me just prop you a bit. What do you know about skills membership or World Skills International? And what exactly are we even talking about? What are the skills that we are talking about? And if you haven't, want to know more about it, please don't change the station. Just keep it there on the network service of the NTA, and in a short while, you will get the number on which to send in your messages and contribution on the screen. So, let's start with the introductions, and I have the Executive Secretary, National Board for Technical Education, Professor Idris Mohammed Bugaje. Thank you very much, Prof, for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Madam.
It's good to have you with us. Compliment of the season.
Thank you.
All right. We also have here is a familiar face, Dr. Niro Oyekale. He's Executive Chairman, Commit Technology and Consult Limited. It's also good to see you, Doctor.
Good morning, Madam. Good morning, Nigerians. Good to be here, as usual.
All right. And we have also been joined from our Lagos studio, Yemisi Akinriade, Country Focal Person for World Skills Nigeria, member of the World Skills Nigeria National Steering Committee. She is also member of the National Council for Skills, the highest policy-making body on skills. A pleasure to have you join us on Good Morning Nigeria. Good Morning Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good morning.
I think we should start with clarification so that we understand, what this whole World Skills International it's all about and why it's so important for Nigeria. And that's why I'd like to start with you, Madam, Mrs. Akinriade. You are a member of the World Skills Nigeria National Steering Committee. You're also a member of the National Council for Skills, which is the highest policy-making body on skills in Nigeria, and I'm also told that Prof here is also the Vice Chairman. But Madam, let's start with you. World Skills International Victor, do you know anything about that?
No.
You're just hearing it. So please enlighten us.
I'm about to know.
Please, can you enlighten us? What is it all about?
Yes, indeed. World Skills International is the global international hub for skills excellence and for TVET. That's technical and vocational education and training. It is the leading and the most influential organization for promoting the importance of skilled people, the importance of skills for economic development, as well as importance of skills for building a society. Now, the organization was created in 1950, just after the Second World War. The same problems the world is having now in Nigeria and elsewhere, where young people don't want to get involved in skills or get their hands dirty. They had the same situation after the Second World War. So the organization was created, started in Spain, to promote skills, to encourage young people, encourage industry, encourage parents and the whole stakeholders that you cannot build a nation without skills. Today, 70 years on, the organization has 89 members, countries and regions, and Nigeria became the 89th member of World Skills in 2024. 2024. World Skills International creates a collaborative...
That was the period when industrialization, skills, moved the world. And let me come back here, Prof, as Vice Chairman. So, I mean, Nigeria has been, we are told, for the past 10 years we've been struggling. Why does it matter for us?
Well, it matters a lot. This struggle started in 2013, and we only achieved this membership in 2024. I see this as one of the dividends of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, especially his focus on TVET, reinvigoration of TVET, bringing it back on, into the mainstream. We are seeing the new TVET initiative, which started also 2024, and we are seeing Nigeria's membership into the World Skills International. This is an opportunity for Nigeria now to benchmark its skills development programs with global standards. This is an opportunity for young people to go into competition on skills. It also provides a platform for us to showcase our skills development programs at global level so that young people will be inspired. The international competition will take place every 2 years, with one coming in September 2026 in China, Shanghai. Is going to give an opportunity, even though we are not fully ready for it. But we shall be there to watch and see how these competitions are conducted, so that when we come back, we'll now move across the country, mobilize young people. It will be like a skills Olympiad. It comes every 2 years. So it's a great opportunity for TVET, great opportunity for skills development. We want to go around all the technical colleges and establish, World Skills International, World Skills Nigeria, clubs. We'll go to polytechnics and establish similar, organizations. We want it to be a movement towards, changing the mindset of young people on skills, so that we can be able now to mobilize, the latent potentials that are in the Nigerian youth, which are being wasted away. Some of them even being used in a negative direction. Skills is the answer to all those challenges. So this is a great opportunity, and we thank God it has come at this time.
So why did it take 10 years to get here? And what does it mean for Nigeria now that we have it?
It took more than 10 years, almost 11 years or more to get there, because we couldn't meet the requirements of World Skills International. When I came in on board as Executive Secretary, I worked with Mrs. Akiri Nadi, and we provided all the necessary support. We went, to Lyon in France, where, the World Skills took place at that time. And all our papers and credentials were scrutinized. And the members agreed that Nigeria was now ready. And that's how we got into it. The difference now is, let us seize on this opportunity. Let us use this opportunity to mobilize support. Because WorldSkills is a platform whereby education and industry meet. That has been a missing gap in training in Nigeria. A lot of the time, we walk in silos. Industries doing their own things, educational institutions doing their own things. WorldSkills is now providing a platform whereby we bring key players of industry, academia, the Tibet institutions, then we can work together, identify the modern skills needed by industry, incorporate it into our training programs, our occupational standards, which we use in skills training, we can now benchmark it with what is obtained outside. We'll now be running programs that are, of global standards, so that if you come with qualification from Nigeria, it will be recognized in the remaining 88 member states, because Nigeria is now a member of WorldSkills International.
Prof, thank you. Dr. Nira, I love the way my producer started our conversation this morning. I mean, I was excited because she referenced China, and I'd like to read it out to you, to lead to my question. She said, if you want to see the present, go to Shanghai. If you want a glimpse of the future, you know where she said? You should go to Shenzhen. And she said, why Shenzhen? That's because that city has become a global lab where technology, skills, and innovation come to life. What is Nigeria presenting? If you want to come to Nigeria, what are you coming to see in terms of skills, innovation, and technology that we are, now a member of this world body?
Thank you very much. This is a wonderful question. And I'm happy my ES is here. First of all, Nigeria hosts this man. No recognition. They need to support him. Because since I met with him by accident, but he has been as passionate, even more than ever. That is it. Coming to your question, you see, the world is looking at Nigeria. And it's unfortunate that we are just waking up, right? You know why? We have the youngest population in the world. And that is supposed to be, we're supposed to take on that demographic advantage. To further buttress your question, President Obama came to South Africa years back, right? And a lady, a young girl was allowed to ask a question during a session with young Africans from Lagos. And this lady said, President Obama, that look at our country. 65% of the populations are youth, but with little or no capability, right? Little or no capability to engage, to compete with the rest of the world. What was Obama's response? He simply said, digital literacy. Why am I bringing in digital literacy? When you talk of TVET today, because we need to work on it seriously, I want us to do a kind of matrix, TVET and digital literacy. When you go into the TVET skill domain, there are about 4 or 5 skills that were recognized. One is technical and vocational skills. These are skills, competencies that you need to do certain jobs: engineering, hospitality, health, ICT, and so agriculture, and so on and so forth. Secondly is digital literacy. These are competencies you need to be able to interact with technology. Then the third one is this entrepreneurship, whatever. You need to be entrepreneurial and be enterprising. Then you now talk of the soft skills, or the transferable skills, or the employability skills. You must be able to communicate very well, collaborate, be creative, and now supported with what? With generative AI. The computational thinking is actually there, making the force complete the forces. But my ear said something. This becoming a member of this team made me so happy, because this is what I've been clamoring for: benchmarking. Have we been benchmarking what we are doing against the rest of the world? No. And what is happening today is only corroborating what happened just 2 days ago. When was Tuesday?
2 days ago.
2 days ago, when the Standard Organization for the first time has moved to establish standard around digital literacy, one. Then at the National Council on Communication and Innovation and Digital Economy meeting in Jos, last 8th to 12th of December last year, serious steps were taken. Consideration were given for this global benchmarking. So as a country, it is now I see us, getting serious to ensure that we have our youth moved off the street, getting them engaged. And you want to talk of even the EFCC on Tuesday signed a joint implementation committee to empower millions of Nigerians, give them alternative cyber skills to cope with cyber criminality, right? And make them competitive. The world is looking at us. I can go on. Look at June 2, 2024, right? Germany opened a dedicated portal for Nigerians. They want to employ close to 2 million Nigerians. What happened? When they did not get a reasonable number, they sent an emissary to the office of the government of the Federation, right? On August 7, we met at the Carlswelton Hotel there, treated to a lavish whatever. What was the message? Please make sure Nigerians are trained to global standards. If we do this, the world will celebrate us. And I'm happy that my ES actually identify with this benchmarking. And this is one of the dividend of this current government, as well as being members. It will only portray what I've been coming for since.
What skills would matter the most, going into the next 5 years, for instance?
Thank you very much. You see, there's nothing like IT skills or IT careers or non-IT careers. Every career is now supported with what? Digital. So you want to mention it? If you are in engineering, you need the likes of AutoCAD, Revit, architecture, and all the rest, supported with an IT skills that will enhance productivity at that level. Talk of hospitality, talk of agriculture. So there is no skill that is not relevant in as much as it is supported with digital competence. Talk of education now. A teacher must teach with technology. These are skills that are never, aligned with digital. So the skills that will be relevant in the next 5 years are every skills supported with IT competence.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Niro Yekale. I'd like to get quickly to Lagos, where we have Mrs. Akinriade. Now, you've been so immersed in all of these. And what does this mean for you personally? Is this something that you've seen in any part of the world that has shocked you?
Where do I start? I got involved with World Skills when the UK hosted the 2-yearly competition. I went in there looking for my country. I saw countries, and we didn't find my country. So I said, no, this has to change. Nigeria belongs to the global skills map. So we went back to my board. I'm managing partner of Consinity. And I convinced them that we should take on the advocacy as a corporate social responsibility. And we thought will be done in 1 year. But of course, the standard set by World Skills for membership is a very high level standard. One, countries can only join. Private organizations cannot join. Private NGOs cannot join. And in terms of countries, it is the agency directly involved and responsible for TVET, for technical and vocational education. Then number two, they have to be sponsored and endorsed by the Federal Ministry of Education. Then number three, all the key stakeholders in terms of industry, government agencies, they all have to support. So that's why it took a long time. I mean, every 2 years, we go for readiness evaluation, and we get to see how other countries are developing their own skills. If I may say. World Skills International sits at the intersection of economy, education, and industry. And any country where these linkages, in that nexus, where the linkages are weak, their economy is weak. Then, so that we are not too down on ourselves in Nigeria, all countries are having the same problems that we're having. We are just having the problem at different levels in terms of the spectrum. And that is, how do we bridge the policy and practice gap? So what World Skills does on this platform, it allows you to bridge that gap in real time. Technical and vocational education is different from the university academic in many ways, but I'll just mention one. It's the fact that you train directly, immediately for industry relevance. Your graduates have to have hands-on skills that are relevant and quality, and that the labor market demands and that industry needs. So what that means is that in that nexus of education, economy, and industry, World Skills sits in that place to create a collaborative and integrative platform where they can where they can work together to ensure that the skills being given, being delivered, the benchmarking, as well as the teachers' training, the curriculum, is benchmarked first at the African continental level. We've got to compete in Africa. We are now a member of the African Free Trade Agreement. Are we ready? Then number two, we also have to be benchmarked globally. That way, we move from being a nation where we import and consume everything, because we can produce them, until we can produce products at global standard. We will not get to that point. And World Skills is the platform to do this.
Thank you very much. Let me come back again to the studio. Prof, I mean, before you, what would I say? Before you're welcomed into as a member of an international global ranking institution, you must have been seen to have met certain requirements. You must have met certain, the benchmark. And I've been hearing of benchmarking. We want to benchmark what I'm saying. And I'm just wondering, what are we benchmarking? I mean, what have we attained? Listen to this data on Global Innovation Index, GII, 2025 ranking. Nigeria is 105th overall, scoring 21.1 points. I mean, this is from the net. And I'm told that this is below a global average of 31.49. So in terms of, the benchmarks that the World Skills Institution, has proven, AI, readiness, maybe other technology, science, and engineering. What are we benchmarking?
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Well, the statistics we gave is very correct regarding innovation. There's very little innovation coming out from Nigeria, simply because we have not gotten our acts right. Nigeria in 1958 was at the same level of development with South Korea. South Korea had just came out from a civil war. We had the same indices of innovation, development, everything. But look at it in 67 years, how South Korea has transformed its economy through innovations, how South Korea has brought to the table global products, mention them, even the AC you are using here, Samsung is from South Korea, the phones, Samsung, LG, Hubo robots, etc., to the global table. We have serious challenges in that area. Our, research and development, policies are not working sincerely, and there's need to rejig everything. So, with that, in respect to that statistic, is very correct.
Yes, because even innovation inputs, it's 127. Yes. Yes, and our output we're 80.
Yes, it's very correct. We need to sit and rejig everything in Nigeria, including the research, development, and innovation environment. There are a lot of challenges. We're just wasting our resources, investments being made without any tangible results coming out. And more importantly, our researches are not geared towards solving, challenges in the economy. Rather, we are just doing them as a tradition to graduate PhDs and award certificates, and nothing hits the economy. And if it doesn't hit the economy, it's not an innovation.
So are we not putting the cart before the horse? Shouldn't we have, done our homework before even, aspiring for membership, inclusion in this world skills?
Well, for world skills, you see, we are trying to see how we can bring up our skills training programs to global standards. Somebody mentioned African free continental trade zone.
Mrs. Akarian.
We are making efforts even to develop an African skills passport. Besides World Skills Nigeria, we have World Skills Africa. There are about, I think, 12 countries on that platform. Members of African countries who have, scaled to the World Skills International Standard. We are meeting together. We were to meet last November in Malawi, but it has been shifted to this year, 2026. We are trying to work towards World Skills, African Skills Passport, ASP. This is going to allow easy migration of labor across the African continent under the African Free Continental Trade Zone. And this is going to be an opportunity for Nigerian youth. At the moment, if you go to construction sites here in Abuja and anywhere in the country, the best of tilers, POPs, finishers in the construction industry are from Benin and Togo. We need to therefore bring up skills training in that sector to reach, the right global standards, so that we can now send our youth across the African continent to provide those services. If it comes to engineering, manufacturing, these are areas that we need to upgrade. So World Skills membership is going to give us an opportunity to compare notes, to upgrade our training facilities, to improve on the delivery of skills training, to bring industry on board. At the moment, our industries in Nigeria are very lackadaisical. They are not very serious about skills development. Unfortunately, many of them are appendages of multinational corporations.
The mission is very clear and quite laudable.
Yes.
I must confess. But the issue is, or the snag is, that the masons that are supposed to drive, of which the board is, a principal driver, are probably silent, or are dysfunctional, or are just there.
Yeah. We are working on that. Yes. We are working on that. We have gotten a number of stakeholders who have created sector skill councils for the different areas. We have brought in industry. The Minister of Education is also trying to re-engineer the sector skill councils. We had about 20, 21. Now we have identified about 13 that are very serious. The minister is going to reintegrate them, and they are going to be key drivers in skills innovations and development. This is going to allow us to stop the importation of skilled labor. Dangote imported almost 11,000 Indians. If we had benchmarked our skills training in the area of welding, pipe fitting, etc., we wouldn't have been importing skilled labor from Asia. Look at the railway expansion. Even the Kaduna-Abuja railway, Chinese did it for us. Unfortunately.
Yes, Chinese did it, but with domestic labor, because we had Nigerians, who...
Yes, there are many challenges, every sector you look at, but we are determined to bring a change. And with our membership of this World Skills International, that change is coming very soon. And I must congratulate the government for facilitating, our membership. And we look forward to more funding, because funding is needed. Industry participation is very important.
We will come to all the challenges.
Prof, I like the fact that you're trying to create opportunities, openings, for Nigerian youth to benefit from all of this, the membership. But Dr. Oyekale, are Nigerian youths ready for AI, for automation, for the future of work? Because if you are creating opportunities and you don't have what to export, then you'll still be shortchanged. Nigeria becomes again a dumping ground.
Thank you very much. You see, I'm happy for one thing, that we have decided to benchmark our skills against the global standards. This is 21st century. There is what we call 21st century education system that has rubbed off any line of demarcation between the TVS institution, even and the universities, so-called.
Do we need to belong to this membership to be able to benchmark? I mean, the
Thank
global,
you very
the global
much.
innovation index.
You see, you know what about? You see, this is a typical African person that unless you are pushed or unless you are challenged, we have been challenged. We have so many of our youth on the streets. Then we have gone to research. Why do we have this? Why are all these boys so-called not employable? Right? So now we have to take a cue. Some of us have been saying this for decades. But now we have come to agree. And I've told you that I am happy because we will now be able to work. We have agreed we are going to benchmark. Skill standard is uniform globally. So you cannot talk of Dangote bringing people when we can actually get them trained. I want to give an instance. I was in Republic of Benin.
Is it not the mentality of having to, because we have the talent?
No, see, this is what I want to say. You understand better now. I was in Republic of Benin. So I was with a chat. One young guy just saw AutoCAD. Please, how can I write this certification? Please help me. I said, what do you need it for? He said that the Chinese are just taking advantage of them. They will do the work, but because they lack the certification, the proof of skill attainment, they will make all the money and give them a stipend. Those guys that work, on Abuja, Kaduna, whatever, that are domestic labor, they are being cheated. Not that they don't have the skills, but they don't have anything to lay claim to the skill they have. And that is the essence of global benchmarking. Now we are ready to work with the rest of the world. Skill is uniform. The standard is uniform. Let me give you an instance. 2023, NIDA was at the Global Digital Literacy Council meeting. They look at the global standard and found some things like the USSD and some other areas that were lacking but are peculiar to Nigerian and Africans. They make a case for it at that level, right? That is what we'll be doing now. Whatever our peculiarities, my ES will be able to champion it at that level and make it to become international standard. So the Nigerian youth are ready. That is the fact, because they are ready to undertake anything. They are able to take anything that is takeable to enable them to compete with the rest of the world. So with this, you'll be shocked that Nigeria will take the entire world by storm. You know, the world is looking at us. That is it. There's currently skill crisis.
In fact,
skill crisis.
In fact, there is.
And it will worsen this year.
If you look at again, because I like to
the step we have taken is the step in the right direction. It will corroborate what somebody like myself has been clamoring for. See, let me give you an instance.
Dr. Nira, I like. Hold on.
I want to reference. Excuse me. See, Prof. God, when we met, he said, Nero, go around Nigeria. Let me have the competency levels of my staff benchmarked. We went around, right? Yeah. Sir, what was the percentage, sir? Yeah. Very low. Very low. The man said, okay, give me the implementation phases. I gave him 5. Right? The very first person, one, we dealt with one. We went around all the geopolitical zones. We captured 500 people, all grades of staff, whether academic, non-academic, up to the rector. Then again, the second one we did, the third one we did, and that was it. Now we are going to...
I like your... whenever you come on Good Morning and you talk, I like your passion. I like your positivity. I like your patriotism.
Thank you, ma.
And I like the fact that you are very enthusiastic about the issues. And I'm also glad that we are now a member of this body. I'm glad. But the issue is that we are in so many, institutions. We are a member of so many institutions. And at the end of the day, they are just there. Now, these skills you talk about, look at our unemployment, the youth, Q3. And I want to also look, so that we look at the data and the statistics. Q3 shows that combined employment, underemployment, and whatever, unemployable, it's up to 17.3. This is, let me say, okay, and this is National Bureau of Statistics. National Bureau of Statistics says youth age 15 to 24, was 8.6%. The total combined unemployment and underemployment rate was up to 17.3%. And the key drivers are skill mismatches, inadequate education, and a slow-growing economy. Now, let me go to inadequate skill mismatches and inadequate education. We have our polytechnics. We have the National Board of Technical Education, which is supposed to, drive the national skills qualification framework.
Yeah.
There's a mismatch. There's a gap.
Yes, let me undo that. You see, when you talk of skill mismatch, not that we just said it now. What is the minimum requirement for employment? I've said it several times on this program. Even where Professor Matayo and the DG leader.
What is the board? The question should be, what is the board and the technical education? What are they doing?
Before the board. Now, the board has taken a step, and it is intentional. They are now a member, Nigeria is now a member of this Global Skill Council. That is one. But I want to address this issue of skill mismatch. We have the minimum requirement for employment, which is no longer English and mathematics, but now digital literacy. How many institutions are actually graduating anybody into the labor market with the minimum requirement for employment? That we're going to resolve. We've always been talking about it. That is one. Then when you now talk of the board, this is, I think it's intentional. Look at the board, got that. And I said at the National Council on Innovation, Communication, Innovation and Economy in JOS, there were certain steps taken. Look at what happened. Standard Organization is coming up with the standard to sanitize the entire skill sector.
The institutions that are supposed to produce this are dysfunctional, infrastructural deficits,
and
teachers,
everything.
A lot of challenges.
What I'm saying is, with all this now, all those things will now be bring to the fore. They'll be tackled. You cannot be a member of World Skill Council. You cannot have set the standard for digital literacy. You cannot want to benchmark training, skill development in future-proof economy, and you not make available the infrastructure, the resources that will support this. And if this is the first time that Nigeria is intentionally coming up with all this that will resolve all the crises. Look, see.
And you think so?
It will work. It will work. You know why it will work?
Yeah.
Before we came in here, we were chatting, and we've seen the need now to come together with a common goal to salvage the situation in Nigeria, or else we'll not be able to sleep with the eyes closed.
Victor,
all right.
The ball is in your court.
Let me get to Mr. Akeriade again.
Exactly.
I just like to know from you, because of the level of your involvement, what does or do data say about countries that succeed with regards to skills?
Before I answer the question, if you don't mind, I'd like to go back to a few things that has been discussed, mentioned in the Abuja studio. The first one is in terms of investment. The TVET, that's the technical and vocational education space, is undergoing re-imaging and reformation. This has been going on for a number of years. We have a new National Skills Qualification Framework, we have a Sector Skills Council, we have new policies that have centered vocational and technical education as the primary driver of industry, youth employment, and society and national development. Now, a lot of investment has been focused by this current administration on vocational and technical education. Now, but for now, Nigeria is operating as if we are in silo. Apart from our West African, the other African countries, all the world is flat, it's a global village. We produce nothing, well, mostly nothing, but how do we get from being a consumption nation to start producing? Everything in this studio I'm looking at, the television, the camera, all are imported. But you need skills to build this thing, to build all of these things. You need skills to build nation. So, but without benchmarking, yes, we have been training youth empowerment for decades, but we are not training based on outcome. We are not benchmarking. Okay, there's a joke that we have the Nigerian standard called "he's trying." That man is trying, you know. Trying doesn't cut it. You have to attain a benchmark standard that can produce things that the world wants to buy. You even have to produce things to standard that even the consumers in Nigeria want to buy. So a lot of work has been done, but WorldSkills Nigeria is going to provide an integrative mechanism, a coordinating framework that would allow industry, government, and the young people and parents and teachers, everybody to come together to build skills and impact young people with nationally, continental Africa, and globally benchmark skills. Now, sorry, if you could go back to the question you asked, it skipped my mind, okay?
What skills are there, that distinguish countries that succeed? For instance, how does Nigeria compare with China, with Germany?
In terms of skills.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. How? I'll start with all the leading economies in the world are members of WorldSkills International. They have built their economy based on all of the resources, the mechanism, building a demand-led, market-oriented TVET system. At the last event in France, India came with over 300 participants to the WorldSkills competition. They came in their own private plane, branded WorldSkills India. Countries are competing based on skills. And the countries that win are those that can produce the best, highly skilled workforce. Now, the competition itself is not just about competition. Countries go there with their own agenda. You are going there to benchmark your technical and educational system. You are going there to benchmark your teaching in the classroom. You are going there to benchmark your assessment systems. Example again, WorldSkills Finland, they have taken the global assessment standard of WorldSkills down to the secondary school level. That's how they set their exams at the secondary school level. China is hosting. China does things big, impact. And we are expecting at this competition maybe 3,000 young people between the ages of 18 and 23 competing to be the best in tiling, auto mechanic engineering, mechatronics, hairdressing, all of the skills areas, brick laying, carpentry, and they are competing to be the best. And when they leave, they take these skills and the benchmark and all of the learnings back to their countries and begin to cascade through the TVET system right down to the classroom. That is what. So economies cannot grow without WorldSkills. They haven't. Right now, we also can see America intentionally trying to bring back production to the country, because like a lot of countries, everybody outsourced production to China. Okay, well, not everybody. Germany didn't, but a lot of European countries and the US. But now they are realizing that the same problems we have here, young people over there also don't have the skills of production. Okay, so yes, economies do not grow without joining WorldSkills. You're talking about Singapore, China. China historically represents the strongest in world skills. But India is stepping up and also competing with China. And Nigeria will take its place. The historical problem of the gap between policy and practice, all countries experience it. But what happens is world skills enable countries to fine-tune periodically so that their TVET system is responsive to industry need. That responsiveness is the key. And where that occurs is the platform of in-country world skills, where the key stakeholders are meeting periodically to ask themselves, are we meeting industry needs? Are teachers and trainers, are they able to train and deliver skills that are relevant and of high quality? And then our young people or the students themselves, are they also able to graduate with a very reduced skill gap, in which they are work ready and industry can absorb them immediately? So World Skills International is key and is very important to help countries to reach their goal. Each country sets different goals. In fact, over the decades, World Skills International has had to create regionals. There's the World Skills Europe, World Skills Africa, World Skills Asia, and World Skills South Americas. And this is in recognition that all parts of the world are at different levels of skills development.
All right, Mrs. Akinrade, for a moment, I would have called you a prof, because it's only profs that, that lecture, really. No.
We have a lot of messages.
We have a lot of messages, but just to say that it's only those who have slush funds that can go to Olympics just to be an observer. Mm-hmm. Why must we go to this world as an observer? We should go prepared. We have the reservoir of skills, but we'll come back to that when we come back. Victor, you want to start?
All right, let's take some messages from the viewers. Dr. Justus Olatunji writes from Ibadan. My worry is that we are too theoretical than practical in Nigeria. China relies more on ability and capability, whereas in Nigeria, we place emphasis on spurious paper qualifications. Let's play down certificate issues, train unemployed skilled youths. Okay? And from George Megari, could you please clarify the role of the Industrial Training Fund, ITF, in World Skills membership? I guess Prof will deal with that perhaps when we return. And Ahmed Babadikwa writes from Maiduguri, this is a powerful and essential perspective. Treating skills innovation as the new currency is precisely the mindset shift we need. The faster our policies, education systems, and corporate strategies align with this reality, the smoother our growth trajectory will be. Now, this isn't just about individual advancement. It's about building a resilient, future-ready economy that fuels sustainable national development. The time to invest in and incentivize continuous learning and adaptation is now, he writes. And from Shehu in Kwara State, TVET is now the new program. Many youths are yet to receive their January stipends, which helps them for transport to the skills center. Mm-hmm. Yes, please, what is the hope for the continuity of this TVET, and what is the future of Empower beneficiaries? All right, another one writes, I'm interested in upscaling my skills education. I got your session on the national television this morning. How can I join the skill development training? Again, we'll get our guests to respond. And from Chief Ekialen, at World Skills membership, Nigerian youths are not ready for skills training. And he wrote that with exclamation mark. Nigeria does not need membership of World Skills Body to know how to upskills or to upskill their youths. It is not rocket science. We need to build the right orientation first. The get-rich-quick mentality of our youths is the problem. Let's deal with that first. Thank you. And from Salus Italia in Kanu, said, good morning. It's amazing to come up with this topic, skills above certificate. Your guest, the MBTEES, is passionate about more skills, and he is doing well in our polytechnics by transforming the system. I'm opportuned to meet with him at the curriculum review of tourism management technology in 2021, and indeed, he emphasized on skills, more of practicals. NTA can't beat the rich indeed. Thank you. And finally, from Sabo in Yola, blessed morning to you and thank you for the nice job. Skills are not given due respect in Nigeria. Instead, they are being discouraged. And this is one of the reasons many people no longer want to attend polytechnics. The discrimination against polytechnic graduates, especially in the Nigerian civil service, needs urgent correction. As it stands, polytechnic graduates often cannot progress beyond grade level 12 or 14, whereas this limitation does not exist in other parts of the world. If this dichotomy is not addressed, the nation will continue to undermine technical skills and practical knowledge that are essential for development. Keep up the good work, he says. But you need to be in service, Prof, if you have the skills.
Yes, let's quickly take the messages before we take a break.
Before responses, that will be too much.
Okay, so let's go ahead.
Thank you very much. These are very, very good points raised by our viewers. Yes, number one, ITF is deeply involved. ITF is a member of the World Skills Nigeria National Working Committee. ITF is funded by industry, and we try to bring them on board on issues of skills development. The only appeal we make to ITF and other stakeholders is all the trainings they are operating should be under the Nigerian Skills Qualification Framework so that we can move in one direction under one standard rather than bringing in different standards from all over the world. And this I'm also appealing to other stakeholders, politicians who are doing skills training randomly anywhere. Please, let's do this skills training under the same NSQF. So this is about the role of ITF. They have a very critical role in their members of this.
But the NSQF, you need to National
Skills Qualification Framework.
Yes.
Someone raised the issue of funding, that those who go for the training,
Tibet New Initiative,
yes, so that becomes a challenge.
Yeah, on Tibet New Initiative, we have almost 100,000 young Nigerians that are undertaking training in different skill centers across the country. They were paid in November, December, and December and January. January is being prepared because January is not yet over. So they will be paid. I haven't gotten my salary for January also. So for that reason, they will be paid. But from February, only those with biometric evidence of attendance shall be paid. For this January, the minister has approved we shall pay them based on written attendance list. You see, we have challenges. Many have registered, but they do not attend the training. From 1st of February, it has to be biometrically verified so that, the gadgets are going to be fixed, the hardware. Then every trainee has to put his thumbprint, and it will be transmitted to the NEL Fund, center. And then those who are paid shall be paid according to their attendance. Because Nigerians always like to play around. When money is being given out, they find a way to go around, to cut corners and still get the money. So technology is going to check on that. So with regards to the other issue, it was, the role of is it industries or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the key challenges in skills development in Nigeria is we have very low industry participation. Yes, we agree many of the industries in Nigeria are appendages of multinational corporations, but we have indigenous industries, Bua, Dangote, Globacom, etc. These are our own industries. They should come on board to support skills development. We can't leave everything to government. Government funding for skills development is limited. Over the years, you can see that it's a marginal improvement, but we need more funding. support from the private sector so that we can rejig all these technical colleges, polytechnics. We're using archaic equipment at the moment. Some of them bought in the 1950s and 1960s. In a modern, in the 21st century, those are irrelevant. So there is need to do more funding, but we must bring private sector on board. We can't leave government alone. Even for government, let's give more funding to Tibet, because in the past it has been, Tibet is the last, tier. Universities, graduates of universities are all over the country without employment. So there is need for government to give more attention to our polytechnics. And this discrimination against HND, a sign of gross underdevelopment indeed, must be brought to an end.
We will come to that.
We must bring that to an end.
Yes, we will come
Otherwise,
to that.
Nigeria shall never progress.
We have to pause and take a...
Welcome back. It's been very fruitful conversation. So let me start off with my own messages. I'll start from the bottom, as always. And this is from Mustafa Ngala from Borno State. Good day, sirs, Prof, doctors, and NTA. Our universities, polytechnics, and colleges lab as rate as skipped, and workshops lack adequate facilities. So I suggest you have a well-equipped training center where students must pass through the center for intensive practical trainings before graduation. That's his suggestion. Please, Dr. Nero, take note, and Prof. And Madam, also take note. We have the second one coming from Samuel Adamu Joshua, and he's speaking from Lagos. Today's discussion on World Skills membership is very timely. I commend Nigeria for taking part. It's a step in the right direction. When we talk about skills development, government policies are important, but young people also have a responsibility. Many of us should be willing to learn under mentorship, whether for 9 months or even 2 years, to properly acquire skills that can solve real problems in the future. Sadly, he says, a large number of Nigerian youth are focused on quick money, and this has contributed to rising social vices and cybercrime. As a result, Nigerian youths are increasingly viewed with suspicion globally, which affects even those who are hardworking and honest. That's Samuel Joshua from Lagos. Akeju Olagbaju, Akeju, it's been a long time. Thank you for coming back. Skill is something that you acquire by learning and practice for free. We have it in Nigeria in different professional callings and at every level. What is lacking is the Regulatory and Standardization Board devoted for skill acquisition, monitoring, and development. I think that is what you have as the National Skills Qualification Framework. Yes, this obviously will make it easy to detect skill quackery, which is a major setback in any national development. The next one, this is, it has no name, but you have very highly qualified team working very hard to bring this wish to bear in Nigeria. But I wish your team had a beneficiary of City and Guild and trade tests trained in early days of Nigeria through craft school and technical school. These model certifications are internationally recognized and have been updated to modern technologies. That is the way to work smart and accelerate Nigeria's wish to achieve our mission in this area of development. How can someone become a member of the World Skill membership? Is it open to individual memberships? To nations. It's open to nations. Okay,
through
not
the statutory body regulating TVET in that country.
Okay, okay. Now, how does Ministry of Education boost the junior engineers, technicians, and scientists, that's JETS, competition in Nigerian secondary schools today? I think schools should formally integrate or reintegrate JETS club activities into their academic programs, encouraging students to solve real-life problems through research, innovation, rather than just theoretical knowledge. Thanks to the guests, and God bless Nigeria, Nanda Uye from Jos. Thank you, Nanda. This is from Mohammed Anwar Musa Afamai from Kano. Skills membership focuses on developing specific competencies such as digital skills, technical skills for vocational training, or soft skills like leadership and communication. So in view of these beautiful roles our HND graduates play in our national development, why do we observe dichotomy between them and BSc graduates? Good morning. And this is from Ibrahim Friday Adejo, who is a lecturer at the Federal Polytechnic of Oil and Gas, Bonny, in River State. He said professions and youth skill development through international competitions, standards, and collaborations. World skill is like the Olympics for vocational and technical skills, organizing the biennial World Skills Competition, where young people, typically under age 25, compete in over 60 skill areas like welding, coding, culinary arts, robotics, hairdressing, and more. I think most of the suggestions, have already been dealt with. And let's talk about the dichotomy between BSc, that is degree holders, and HND holders. And I think that the government has taken a step. The Ministry of Education a few days ago, came out with the statement that polytechnic graduates in science, engineering, and technology can now be awarded degrees, certificates, and not. And you remember also sometime last year, it was extended to those in medical situations. So, Mr. Akeriade, can you talk to us on some of these messages that have come in? I had a question for you. It just keeps.
Well, I'm sure she's taking notes.
Okay.
She has a pen.
Yes.
But something to work with. I'm saying, are there deliverables rather, in our journey? And what timelines can we hold on to if there are deliverables?
But before I touch on that, I'd like to say something that would encapsulate a lot of the questions that have been sent in. World Skills Nigeria is going to focus primarily in 6 core areas. One of them is promoting skills to parents, young people, to even policymakers, that it is a viable option, first option. We want to make it such that the young people who apply to enter polytechnics, that they are the best of the best. It is not a fallback position, okay? Yes, university education has always been prioritized, but until you build a nation and the people in university will have nothing to manage, we've got to build first. So that is the promotion. Then number 2 is going to focus on education, educating the school teachers, the trainers, the managers of the institution, how to run, how to deliver world-class education within world-class TVET system. Then is also going to focus on research and monitoring the system in real time. It would monitor the industry, it will monitor what is happening in education, as well as the government policy, to ensure that it is meeting first the national standard, then the African regional, and then the global. Then also it's going to, it creates a collaborative platform for development, where all of the development partners from ILO, UNESCO, and all the bilateral organizations from countries that come to support us. It creates a platform where they can fit, where they can become actors within the TVET system. And finally, of course, the competition, which is a flagship. It's not everything that World Skills is about. It's where you go to test your system to say, okay, we've been working for 2 years. How are we performing at the national level? Our teachers, our curriculum, our assessment systems, how are we? So that benchmarking, you go there prepared to go and test. Even when somebody mentioned that we are not participating, why are we going? We are going to first build our own system. But for us to build, we have to go there with our system to see how do we compare to all the other systems. Once we've done that, we'll come back and we start laying the foundation to build our own our governance framework, our own systems, the national world skills will also have at the state level, so that the state's board of technical education can cascade all of the 6 focus points down, and then career development.
All right, Mrs. Akinrade, thank you. But I just got back my thoughts
I didn't
now.
have the opportunity to respond to the question I asked. Perhaps I'll bring that to Prof.
But let's
go ahead.
Yes, I wanted her to also speak before maybe Prof. When we come back to the studio, maybe in 60 seconds. You know, we're talking about bringing how do I say it now? Harnessing those within the formal. You know, the skills within the formal setup. What about those tailors, welders, mechanics, you know, highly skilled young ones out there that probably may not have, you know, the wherewithal, you know, to be formally engaged? Are you also, will this bring them into the, you know, the tax reformers will say, you know, into the tax net?
Absolutely. World Skills focuses on both young people, students in formal education, and apprenticeship. All the actors, all the practitioners you've mentioned in the informal sector, they become in their profession, there are apprenticeship systems that they go through. And MBT is already developed systems for recognition of prior learning. Now, even if you don't speak English, you speak your native language, there are systems where you are tested and you are certified if you can show what you do. So really, it's all part of it. It's an inclusive system. Okay. And if I may also mention, our indigenous skills, the old traditions that we are allowing to die away, that also, countries focus on it. Okay, so everybody is taken care of. And one of the key partners that would help implement this is NACIMA. That's the National Association of the Chambers of Commerce. They are already talking to World Skills Nigeria, and they will be those that would key players in this apprenticeship and all of the trainings that will cascade to the informal sector.
Thank you, Mr. Akinrade. Let me get back to, let me get to Dr. Oyekale so that we...
Oyekale has been itching to say.
I asked earlier, are there deliverables in our journey towards becoming, that skilled economy? And are there timelines that we can hold on to say, okay, there are deliverables. You said from January to June, this would have been at this level, so that we can also hold you accountable.
Thank you very much. You see, I said something earlier, that certain things are happening intentionally now, right? But without missing words, most of these problems we are flogging, we're not supposed to. All we need to do is simply move our education system from 28th century to 21st century that is now skill-based, right? Even if forgotten all the details, what will you be capable of doing? That is the essence of 21st century. But unfortunately,
how do we move that, and what is the content? Okay,
to move is very, very easy. We've started on the journey. We've agreed to benchmark whatever we are doing with the standard of the globe. We realize this, that if we continue to train our people our own way, our economy cannot absorb everybody. So we need to train for global use. And what is good for goods is good for Uganda. Abi? So it is intentional. That is one. So my appeal is this, that we will not be talking of this issue of dichotomy, this issue of skill, this issue of that. If we can migrate, and what will it take us to migrate? All we need to have is digital literacy content.
Okay, let's quickly. Prof,
Yes.
what do we do? Because the board is the main driver.
Yeah.
So what are the steps, the next steps now?
Well, the next steps are to mobilize stakeholders so that everybody can play its role. Government has a role to play, improve funding. Private sector has a role to play, provision of support, and also provision for hands-on training for skilled, workers. I mean, training in Tibet is not to be done in the classroom or workshop alone. You have to take them into industry so that they can also train on the job. That's another missing link. And then finally, government is also going to remove all the impediments. The dichotomy you mentioned is one of them, very unfortunate. We have to really work towards that. The speaker is also sponsoring that bill, which will allow polytechnics to offer both ND, HND, and Bachelor of Technology degrees. But for those, this is for the future. Even for those who have graduated earlier with HND, we should criminalize any discrimination. Why don't we put a bill so that anybody who discriminates a HND holder should be sent to jail? If we do that, then people will come back to their senses. Because this is a very unfortunate situation. People who have the hands-on skills needed by the economy are being, downgraded in terms of promotion. Why should a HND holder not become the permanent secretary if he goes to the public side?
Before you start sending people to jail, there's
Yes.
this message I must read.
All right.
And Nnadozie from Abuja writes, it says, until we match words with action, we cannot make a headway in this country. Polytechnics that were originally meant to bridge the gap have fallen short. Imagine my neighbor who has HND in electrical and electronics engineering from a polytechnic calling a roadside electrician to fix ordinary changeover switch in his house. He said the whole family had to stay in darkness till the electrician arrived.
It's good to
So
know.
before we start going to jail.
Okay, quickly. Let me just appreciate Anwar Ahmed Ibrahim Grunyo, staff of Kaduna Polytechnic. You say that the federal government is doing much in skills development and youth empowerment. It's a remarkable achievement, making the executive secretary of the National Board for Technical Education, NBT, the secretary of World Skill in Nigeria. Thank you. We also like to appreciate Prince Oziandu from Okene, Kogi State. You say the government should work on practical activities instead of relying on certificates. Do we have a minute? Okay, just 1 minute. Who do we take from now? Okay, Prof.
Okay.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Well, thank you so much for this platform, and we look forward to all stakeholders coming on board, government, industry, NGOs, and the international community, so that we can move skills of Nigeria to the highest level globally.
Yeah, thank you very much
Through
for
this
this
platform.
opportunity. And I look forward to seeing a Nigerian where all the stakeholders will work together as a team and take the destiny of Nigerians to be benchmarked with the global standard to enable adequate competitiveness.
All right, thank you. Mrs. Akiniade, may I not be accused of gender bias? Please take your 30 seconds.
The World Skills Nigeria vision is to build a skills economy where government, industry, education, parents, and indeed the young people all have bought and embraced the fact that skills is the currency of work in the 21st century. Not certificates, not job functions, what you can do.
Mr. Akinriade, country focal person for World Skills Nigeria, member of the World Skills Nigeria National Steering Committee, and also member of the National Council for Skills, the highest policymaking body on skills. We thank you very much for your time and your thoughts from Lagos. Let me also thank Dr. Nino Oyekale, Executive Chairman, Commit Technology and Consult Limited. We thank you very much for your perspectives and for your passion, as always.
Thank you.
And finally, let me thank Professor Idris Muhammad Bugaje, Executive Secretary, National Board for Technical Education, MBTE. Always a pleasure having you in our studios. We thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that's the size of today's Good Morning Nigeria. We thank you so very much.